elinye ithuba. Another chance, ngiyakutshela mpintsha. Another chance, ngiyakutshela mpintsha. Ke tla le qoqela ka nna ne ke hloka mamello, ke hloka hlompho, batswadi bopa dihlooho, ke sebetsa fela ka tlung ho sena borotho, eo ke phoso, phelo bo le bonolo. Ke tobetsa fela dintho di ketsetsa, sa tsebe hore phelo bo tla ketsetsa. Never knew what it meant, hore lebili la jega. Hated church, but lodi la sek apara phega. All of my friends were nothing but miliko ya batho. Dikhamor tshwereng ha we bone kgale ka batho. Always push you in trouble and you never get out, cause when we baila le moya and like pleasing the crowd. Elinye ithuba, elinye ithuba. Another chance, ngiyakutshela mpintsha.
I think it's mnandi.
Shafere?
Mnandi wena?
No, grand man.
Yeah,
Connect, Alana, but finally, yeah, we are through, man.
yeah, network. Especially now, I'm shading everywhere.
Yeah, the network is, it happens to come and go,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a messy, like, I feel like, they may be giving us messy sometimes. I mean, they could take it forever.
We haven't heard from you for a while. It's been long.
Yeah, it's been quite a long time. I mean, also considering the fact that we just gone through like one of those unpredictable periods of COVID and whatever. But even before that, I mean, even though I happened to release music there and there before the COVID.
Yes.
I still really didn't wanna, be out there. Like, I just felt like I didn't really wanna be out there. I just felt like just releasing music for whoever my audience was at the time.
And also your catalog as well. It's quite a huge catalog. And I mean,
for real?
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's tear gas, your catalog as well. I mean, it can sustain you guys for years and years. I mean, probably you're still eating out of that.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So that's why, I mean, I can't say you've been off the game. You've been involved in the game, per se, even behind the scenes. I mean, the last time I saw a statement from your company that you signed artists. I think Seven was one of them.
Yes, yes.
Take me through that process whereby you decided to say, hey, I can call a leto and be able to rope in the youth, be able to mentor them in such a way.
It's always been something that was planted in my heart.
Yes.
Very long ago, just to be helpful and to also just lend a hand wherever I feel there's some sort of brokenness.
Yes.
And if I've got the capacity also to assist, because sometimes you want to put yourself in a place where you are this helpful being, and everywhere. I mean, even in your own family, you are being this helpful guy. But at the same time, you as a person just have to understand that also it comes with a price. Like it just doesn't come without any sweat.
Yes. And speaking of that, the sweat and everything, take me through your writing process. I mean, listening to your songs and your lyrics and everything, it seems like you don't even sweat a lot. It just comes in naturally and all.
When it comes to the writing process, for me, it's just a different scenario. When I'm in studio, sometimes I'll, go in studio with like a prepared script.
Yes.
As to how the song is gonna go. And, I'll prepare like, a proper verse for the song. But as soon as I get on the mic and I try to recite what I've already written, sometimes it, just feels like, I can just, add a little bit of something new. And sometimes I end up, discarding, the original writing. And I end up just doing like some kind of a freestyle. And maybe that's because of that being like a natural gesture in the studio. That's maybe the reason why also it sounds effortless. It sounds like I'm not really doing much, but like it sounds like so melodic, and it sounds so premeditated. And sometimes it's something that just happens on the spot in the studio. And I'll probably just go back to the script in terms of the direction of the verse.
Yes. Now, sticking to music, it's in studio right now? Are we getting any new music from you anytime soon?
I'll give you an honest opinion about that. I am actually, I've never stopped being in studio. I'm actually in studio most of my time.
Yes.
Even though I've got, other things that I do on the side that I'm involved in, but music, always stays a part. It's like a motion picture of my whole life. Like it's being in studio actually physically and doing, the utmost best, and just being me and just making sure that my fans are fed, because I've opened a whole market. I've opened I've touched a lot of people with my music, ever since Tear Gas days until my solo days. I've been able to touch a lot of souls, and I just can't leave them hanging, just for the mere fact that I probably have other things that are better to do or whatever not.
Yes.
That for me, if that's a void, I'm gonna have to find a way to fill it. And that's what I've been doing. I've been in studio, but to tell you the honest truth, I didn't want to release anything at all for 2022. My plan was to release something for 2023, beginning of 2023. But seeing that, I've been gone for so long, like you said earlier,
Yes.
and I don't normally have my fans sending me DMs about like when are you dropping and stuff like that, but it has happened so much that I don't really feel pressured to release, but I just feel like I just want to do them courtesy, seeing that we're going for like 3 years now after COVID, since everybody's been using it as an excuse, but I haven't really been using is COVID as an excuse. It actually has hit me, like it literally hit me really, really bad.
Yeah.
But obviously, because some of us, we got in the game very, very late, not like artists that got in the game and they were like 16, 15. Like we got in the game and we were like past 20s, so the financial like know-how of how to use your finances sparingly, and just the intelligence over your whole expenditure.
Yeah.
So it didn't hit that much because of that. Yeah, but I mean, just to let you know, I mean, the music is there.
Yes.
I'm just gonna make sure that even though like I said, I'm not pressured, I just feel like I have to fill that void once again. I
Yes.
have to just give my fans what basically the work in progress really has been all these years, because like I've accumulated quite a lot of songs, and it's just it's really good, like it's like a really good feeling, because like it's such fresh vibes. And, it's something that I feel will really connect to them, seeing that also, I've started developing, a whole host of other fans that are like beyond our country's borders, I've got fans all over the world now. So even though it's not like, amazingly skyrocket numbers, but, it's numbers that really, they make me proud, and, obviously I'll give a big shout out to me for that, the fact that, I work really hard to do the things that I do and to be where I am, where, artists that, came in the game when, or maybe before, or even when, after I came in the game, a lot of them have, sort of like disappeared and, maybe for their own reasons, but, somehow, I still managed to be on people's lips, and I still managed to, make my way on a lot of people's playlists. And, the fact that also some of those people are beyond our borders, that just makes me even prouder,
Nice one. Now, sticking to you touched on tear gas a bit, and then you said it actually propelled you to be the person that you are today, and in terms of you getting fans, none. Are we ever gonna get a tear gas song, let alone an album? Are we ever gonna get it? Because when I was checking through your timeline, I think that is on top of some of the questions that you get almost on a daily basis. Are we ever gonna get a tear gas song?
That's not a difficult question, For me, I feel like it's not just about the fans, it's also just, about the synergy between, the artists or the group members.
Yes.
Just to be specific, we need to get to a place where we don't necessarily need to be friends.
Yes.
Oh, I see a picture there. I'm wondering what's happening now.
No, I'm still around.
So I feel like, we just need to get to, like we just need to get to a place where there can be some sort of open communication, just as per, just pertaining to tear gas.
Yes.
I think there should be, open communication lines where things are not, things don't end up like on social media,
Okay. I get you.
before being a dialogue within us.
Yes.
Or things don't have to necessarily be in songs, you understand?
Yes.
You don't have to like, put something on a song that's like an eyebrow like razor, like on some, hey, what's that? You understand? Like, I think some issues probably, it would be best if, we would have just, an open communication sort of basis that basically, that would be basically where we could be able to share, some of these things maybe before they end up in songs, because especially if it's something that is questionable, like I don't really mind, being on a song, but if you actually, interpret what's in the song, it's not necessarily anything that is, I don't know, like it's not necessarily something that has not been, maybe that's not like controversial, It's maybe if it's like a compliment or if it's a diss, just make it clear exactly what it is. Because like, I just feel like it's just best, if we can have that, sort of open line of communication in terms of that, seeing that what we've created is really huge. It's bigger than us. Like
it is.
tear gas is bigger than us.
It is.
So we cannot just treat it as if, it's like a whole structure that, must just be abandoned and just, have occupants, or rather have, maybe fans just marvel at it just for no reason, just sitting there marveling at it. I feel that, some sort of communication has to be opened in terms of that, because also I feel that besides it being a group that people loved, that people, grew to just, become such a big part of, I feel like, we need to treat it like a business also at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
But for that to happen, I think, the communication that I'm speaking of needs to happen in a way, such that things don't end up on social media. Like, the last place that I want to be about issues is social media. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't want to be waking up to people like, asking me about stuff that's happening on, I don't know, on somebody's release of a song, and then, there's just a message on a song that I also feel like, it's really questionable.
Yeah. I think what made listening to you now, I'm realizing that you are willing to have that conversation. That's one. Two, what made people start kind of getting excited that you guys are maybe will have a song or so? It's when you were on KO's music video where he featured AKA on a song, I think sometime last year, if I'm not mistaken. People got excited.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, cool, something is gonna come. Obviously it didn't come, obviously due to COVID, maybe in a conversation that you guys never had that conversation. Okay, let's get back to studio. Yeah. But are you willing, really, really willing to say Ashalen Majita, it's bigger than us. It's bigger than, just South Africa as a whole. It's a world thing. You guys, I mean, the songs that are still playing. I mean, they have a friend in Norway. He was jamming to Mhlobo Wam. So it shows that, hey, it's bigger than all of us, even as South Africans. So are you willing to actually talk Namajit? I mean, with Uma E is your brother, that should be easy. But KO and then getting together, I mean, yeah. Are you willing to do that?
Yeah, like I said, I feel like, we cannot just leave that hanging. And also just seeing how long it has been that, this whole, is tear gas coming back together thing is not happening, or is it happening, just how long that whole, journey has been. Also, it's just, for me, I just feel like, we don't really necessarily even have to be friends.
True.
We don't have to be friends. Like, we could just meet at, important places. But, for me, I don't have any bad blood. I feel like I've grown past that. All the animosity that we had to endure because of the split. I just feel that, for me, we literally could do it for, we could do it for the fact that, we actually put in a lot of work into it. But for me, I feel like, it's also gonna be a mutual thing. It's also gonna be, a bilateral situation, because, I can't do it unilaterally. Where just previously we were supposed to be doing a reunion. Just by the way, it was meant to be a surprise, but it's no longer a surprise now, because, like, there's a couple of people that actually know about it. So you guys as Daki Mac also might as well know about it.
Yes.
The fact that there was gonna be a tear gas reunion at the annual Back to the City at the hip hop show. It was meant to happen there. It was a whole situation, but it didn't happen. Yeah, for whatever reason, it didn't happen. And I was actually approached by the guys that are organizing the event. They had actually been sent to me. They had actually been sent by my brother as well as KO to see if there could be any possibility that we could be on stage together for the Back to the City. I agreed. I said, yeah, I actually had a meeting with guys from Back to the City, and yeah, I agreed to it. But for whatever reason, a lot of things when things happen, sometimes they tend to have some sort of a similarity to other things in our lives. And what I'm saying by that, I may be going upside your head a little bit, but I mean, in this particular song, I don't want to dwell on this tear gas thing a lot, but I mean, in this particular song, apparently he says that we're beefing for no reason. But then what's the reason that we couldn't be? What's the reason that we couldn't be on? Is there no reason that we could have been on? We could have been or not have been on stage for Back to the City. I'm not really literally crying over it, or I'm not, feeling like maybe I really, really needed it for that to happen. As much as it's something that needed to happen, from my side of the story, I feel like it's something that needed to happen, regardless of whatever situation. But until this day, I still don't know why the reunion couldn't happen. But we've gone past that. And I just feel like, the lines of communications and ask for anything like that. I'm literally open, because I feel like tear gas is so big. And, if we being blind to that, we might end up, just, we might end up rubbing things the wrong way. You understand what I'm saying? We might end up rubbing things the wrong way. I don't know, man, but that's just, my opinion, and that's just, how I feel about the situation. I feel like, we don't, like I said, we don't have to get along as much. As long as you don't have a grudge, over whatever that happened, I feel like, we just have to wipe the slate clean.
Yes.
But for that to also happen, there should be some sort of open communication just in terms of that. And for me, I feel like, I've matured so much from, back in those days. You understand? I'm no longer, that guy that wasn't really seeing the whole tear gas thing as like a really huge thing. But to tell you the honest, blatant truth, for me, I feel like I'm not pressured to have this whole thing, come together and become a conglomerate yet again. But I do know that, there's a lot of people that grew up with what we did, and they were raised by what we did. And they became, some people took different directions in their lives because of what we did.
Yes.
And for me, I feel like, if it happens, it will be a very, very nice thing. It will be a beautiful thing. But also, if it doesn't happen, for me, I'll know that, my lines of communication have always been open, and I with nobody, because I feel like that time has things, and just not being able to think things through, and just doing things recklessly without having any sort of rational way of doing things. You know, that time has come and it has gone. And for me, I feel that at this point, I'll have my lines of communication open, but at the same time, all I just, will ask is, for things to be thought through, before one acts out any action, at least try to, think about, like how will people receive it? How, because if you're gonna send out a tweet about somebody, and it's like maybe the tweet itself is got like something that is like, something that could raise questions, or something that could need like, I don't know, like an answer. Like, I think just think about it first before you press send.
Yeah, I get you. I feel you.
Just think about like whoever's gonna be at the receiving end of that. Like, are they gonna be okay with that? Are they gonna say, "Oh, okay, it's fine"? Are they gonna irritate, or are they gonna be bombarding whoever? Because they bombarded me like over just that song. I didn't know what it was about. Because like I'm like literally in my own bubble. I'm doing my own things. I'm not bugging anybody. I'm just being in my own space, just doing what I need to do as a family man. But I mean, I can't just keep, getting tweets and keep, being sent stuff on my social media where, maybe I shouldn't necessarily be answering to anybody. But, sometimes, there's just things that, you just can't seem to wake up in the morning, like you just get like this one irritating thing that's happening,
Yeah.
and only to find that when you follow up on that, it's not necessarily like there's no truth in it also. So
just to close this chapter, I remind you probably next year. I'll come back to this clip. I know for a fact that you guys are
we
gonna.
seem to be having an issue there with the connection. I can't really put together your question.
Can you hear me now?
Can you ask that question again?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
I'm saying I'll come back to this video, to this clip. I'll show you this part of the clip. Next year, you can mark my words. Next year, I don't know when, you guys are gonna record something. Whether it's a song, whether it's an EP, you guys are gonna come together, you guys are gonna record something. I can tell you that much. I'm just closing off this chapter. Now, just before we close off the episode as well, what's your take on the state of music in South Africa? I don't want to say amapiano, I don't want to say hip hop, but the music industry as a whole.
With regards to that, I feel that there's a whole lot of new ground that is being carved, and there's new walks that are being taken, and it's really nice to see, as much as you wouldn't want to speak about amapiano that much, but or rather not only about amapiano. Unfortunately, that's basically the new wave, and that's what's actually happening. And if you actually look at like the amount, of content that they are bringing, just that part of the genre in our music industry. I mean, they just putting in like so much content, and like there's just so much happening every single day, literally. And some of that happens to also find its way to like the States, and we just happen to see videos of people that are reviewing some of their material, like in the UK. Like you see a lot of people doing that, and it's really beautiful to see, because everything has gone global now.
Yes.
You can almost see that we almost headed to one government for the whole world. So I feel like the way that our music industry is structured right now, it's so nice and colorful, you know. We've got a new wave of beautiful young musicians. You know, like when it comes to jazz music, you know, I've been able to hear a lot of young people that are coming in, you know, from the jazz side of things, you know, Afro pop side of things. Like I've been introduced to quite a number of really exceptional artists. And when it comes to like, you know, your, the Kwaito side of things, you know, for me, I don't, you know, binge a lot of like the new wave and what's happening with the new things. But what I'm actually seeing, you know, is that still the older guys, when it comes to Kwaito, guys like speaking, Mandla speaking, you know, they're still holding it down in terms of like the Kwaito side of things. But there's also just like, you know, just like one particular guy. And I feel like, you know, if that guy could have other people, or rather other artists that are like him, that could be different in their own way, that could follow him. There's an artist that does Kwaito also, a younger artist in Kwaito that goes by the name of Tos. I quite like what he's doing, and I feel like he's got that rawness, like that, you know, township rawness that's needed. Diversity in music, we really need that. But you know, if you know, he could have, if we could, like, the country could have, like, you know, that kind of style, it would really do a whole shift. It will have a whole shift in terms of Kwaito. And in terms of hip hop, I mean, you know, guys like Blakey, you know, they're heading the game right now. Nasty C, you know, he's doing his thing. Also, guys like AKA, you know, with that Lemonade song, you know, he's really, you know, doing things. And I also, you know, find guys like, you know, that are like in the you know, on like the underground scene, like Touchline. I think his name is like Touchline. I really also think that, you know, he's really doing justice in terms of like that Kasi rap, and also just, you know, that bit of rawness in his music.
Wow, man. You said a mouthful. What can you say, just in closing, to an upcoming artist who says, I want to be like you, I want to get into the music industry? Just in 2 minutes, just an advice.
I feel like, you know, the music industry is not really like the best place to choose at this moment.
Okay.
Like maybe like about 10 years ago, it was like the music industry was sitting at a much better position. And also I just feel like, you know, the era that we are at now, you know, it's more digital. You know, when things used to be like more like hard copied, things were a lot better. And also with social media, you know, everything just gets diluted so easily. So my advice to like the newer people, you know, just try and be as creative as possible. Like, don't just be creative in your words, in your music, and how you present your music, you know, but actually how you present your music to, you know, to the market. Just try and find, like, you know, just break new ground in terms of that, because that's not, and the music industry right now is like, everything is so easily accessible, like, you know, so you have to try and, you know, you have to try and stand out, because like everybody, you know, it's so easy for everybody to be out there, and, you know, people are just, you know, following you know, new ways of marketing, you know, like sort of like new you know, dynamic ways, you know, like things like choreography for videos and clips and things. People are using that to market their songs. But I mean, as much as that is a nice route, and, you know, it's an in thing, but, you know, just try to think a lot more just beyond what is happening. Just, you know, do different things. Like, I mean, I've seen some of the musicians that actually put themselves out there on YouTube, like they just do like skits and they just do like funny videos, and voila, after 2 months they drop a song and you're like, okay, you see, maybe you know, that's just one way to do it, but you know, we all different, and I feel like our uniqueness is what will definitely bring about what's different from a person, you know, just individually.
The brother, thank you very much for this. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and what you think of the industry and all. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, I appreciate the platform, Gilbert, and hope to see this really soon. So when you're dropping this?
I'll drop this in 2 weeks' time.
In 2 weeks' time?
Yeah, in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, all the best. I see you out there. You're doing great work.
Thank you very much. Thank you, the brother. Togetherness, we'll talk.
Salute, Ola, sharp.
Sharp.
Darky Magazine.